Hi, my name is Susan Cawley, and welcome to You're Not Alone Surviving Your Child's Disability. Assistive technology is a necessary component for improving the lives of people with disabilities. It enables them to thrive as productive, independent individuals. Here to discuss assistive technology is Christy Peak Oliveira, Coordinator for the Assistant Technology Center and AAC for Easter Seals, Mass., and Catherine Bly, also an Assistive Technology Regional Center Coordinator and Vision Specialist at Easter Seals, Mass. How are you today?
Good,
Great.
thank you.
Good. Christy, what do you feel is the most significant and valuable assistive technology service Easter Seal provides for individuals with disabilities?
Easter Seals actually provides a wide variety of services. With the ATRC specifically, I think the most important is the demonstration and loan program, where people are able to come in and learn about assistive technology, have a demonstration, get some hands-on practice with it, and then they can borrow it for up to 4 weeks, all for free.
Great. That's a wonderful deal. Catherine, did you have anything to add to that?
No, Christy pretty much said what we do. That is the most important. It does give people the opportunity to trial things before they buy.
Which is great. What other types of services might be available?
Through Easter Seals?
Through Easter, well,
Or
not
through the
necessarily through the Assistive Technology Department.
Okay, through the Assistive Technology Department. It's sort of an umbrella, and we fall under that, the Assistive Technology Regional Center. There are also assistive technology specialists, including speech pathologists like myself, who are augmentative communication specialists. Our end of assistive technology is working with people who can't use speech as their primary means of communication. So we use computers, iPads, specialized devices to help them communicate. We also have a large group of folks who are assistive technology specialists. They are special educators, occupational therapists, rehab engineers, and they go out and work with children and adults who need, maybe these folks are speaking. Maybe their issue is a child in school who needs an iPad to access the curriculum, or an adult who's been injured in an accident and they're trying to get back to work, and they need maybe some type of assistive technology to access a computer.
So you have a wide variety of people that actually work with the system. That's great.
Yeah.
Catherine, did you want to say anything else?
I would say the special program that we run is a federally funded program, the Assistive Technology Regional Center. Easter Seals is under contract with the state to run this particular program that Christy and I coordinate.
Is there any other programs in the state that are available like this?
There is another center in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. It's run by United Cerebral Palsy. But both programs are run under the state AT Act program called Mass Match. And it's a free program, and anyone in the state can access our demonstration and our loan program.
Great. How does the Assistive Technology Regional Center help people with disabilities make informed decisions about how technology can help them in their daily lives? Christy?
Well, to give an example, we get a lot of calls from parents who have school-age children with learning disabilities. And the parents know there's assistive technology out there that can help the child access the curriculum, but maybe they're finding the school doesn't have anyone that's knowledgeable, they're struggling. They can come into the program. We had one, I'm thinking of one woman in particular, who came in several times into ATRC to try different types of technology. She tried an iPad with apps. They tried a smart pen, tried different things. They were able to identify what worked for her daughter. The child is in junior high. They were able to take it back to the school, because they had the loan, so they did the demonstration, then they did the loan. They were able to show the school how successful she was using these items, and the school is now on board
Great.
and supporting the technology.
Now, do schools come frequently to this program to see what types of technology is available for their students?
We get a lot of teachers. We have teachers who work with students who are blind or students that are maybe have multiple disabilities, and they can come with either the parent or the student, and they often will come to the demonstration, try out a couple of different things, and then take them back to the school to see if it really, as Chrissy said, really does work, because times are tough, and you don't want to spend that money if it's not going to work for that particular student.
Right.
But
because these devices are fairly expensive.
They
honestly.
can be very
yeah.
expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But we also get a lot of health professionals, parents looking for devices for their elderly for their parents, and also parents looking for their children. I mean, many parents now are self-advocating on behalf of their children because they aren't getting the kinds of services that the students need. So we get a wide variety of people that are using our services.
That's great, and free is always great.
Right.
Can you explain to me in more detail how the short-term device loan program works at the ATRC?
Sure. What happens is we have a website at massmatch.org where someone could look and see all the different devices that we have online. Okay. And that's one way to access to see what we have. They can actually do a shopping list, and we'll get the shopping list. Another way is we have many agencies that know of our services, and they refer people, and they can call us, they can send an email to us, and make arrangements to come down, maybe have a demonstration, or if they know exactly what they're looking for, because maybe they've used our services before, they can make a request for a device or several devices and come down to our center. We get it ready for them. There's a request liability loan form they need to fill out. When they take it out, they have to make arrangements for pickup and then bring it back. And,
okay.
Yeah, so we have a couple locations in the state. Worcester is another place for pickup. Boston is our main office, and New Bedford.
Oh, great. So then it is accessible more or less throughout the state. That's great.
Right.
What types of workshops or training do you offer at the ATRC to, teach disabled individuals how to actually use these devices? Do you have trainings periodically, or do they have to make an appointment, as you had suggested earlier?
Well, we do work on an appointment basis, but the first Wednesday of every month is an open house, and anyone can drop in at that time. However, it is under our guidelines that we do demonstrations, and the trainings. If you want a training or an evaluation, we usually refer people to other departments at Easter Seals or other departments. Other agencies for a more in-depth evaluation or training, because we're limited in what we can do at our center.
Okay. So it's basically the devices themselves.
Well, we do offer presentations within the scope of ATRC and the guidelines set down by the Mass Rehab Commission.
Yeah.
So we might do a little, like an overview of the iPad and education apps, or we might have vendors in to show maybe different types of low vision equipment or different types of communication technology. So we do have, and those are free and open to the public.
Okay, and those are announced online, or for the most part?
Yes.
Yeah, we have, there's mailers that go out through Easter Seals about the upcoming events. Easter Seals, the Assistive Technology Department often does many different kinds of workshops, speech and language workshops, workshops on particular learning, cognition. So there's quite a variety that both Easter Seals and the Assistive Technology Regional Center puts together, and you can see that at the Easter Seals website.
And also on the Mass Match website
Right.
for ATRC
Right.
presentations. They'll be on there
Great.
too.
Now, as you said before, who can request the loans that you have for these devices? Can individuals themselves request the loan, or does it have to go through a school or a therapist or something like
Any
that?
resident of Massachusetts can request. And you don't have to be a person with a disability. You don't have to know someone with a disability. It could just be for education purposes. But it's free to any resident of Massachusetts. So it could be anyone.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
I mean, the key component of our program is that it puts the power into the hands of the consumers. So they really make the decision as far as what device is best for them. So we have to be really careful that we can certainly put out lots of different choices for them, but they ultimately make the decision that's best for them.
Okay, and as you said before, the borrowing time is up to 4 weeks.
Up to 4 weeks. Right.
Okay.
And
Great.
they have to come and get it, and then they can mail it back or bring it back.
Okay.
Kind of like a library.
Now, I noticed that you have some devices out here. Can you show us some of these devices and what they actually do?
Sure.
That would be
Go
great.
ahead.
Okay, so we have a variety of devices. I think at this point we have over 1,000 items
Yeah.
Wow.
in areas of for people with low vision, people who are blind, people with hearing difficulties, people with communication difficulties, people with physical access needs, learning disabilities.
Cognition, right.
So wide
So
variety.
you cover a wide variety.
Daily
Is
living.
there-
Yes,
is
daily
there anything in
living.
particular that you might not cover? I mean,
Durable medical equipment, things like hospital beds,
Okay.
Hoyer lifts, things like that. We do, though, have portable ramps.
oh,
So
okay.
if you know anyone who needs a short-term loan of a ramp, maybe someone coming home from the hospital in a wheelchair, something like that, you can borrow a ramp from Easter
that's
Sales.
great.
Yeah, but other major big items we don't
Right.
have.
There is a reuse program that just went into effect for durable medical equipment, which you can access at the MassMatch website, as well as a recycling program called Get AT Stuff.
Get AT stuff.
Get AT Stuff.
Okay. Well, why don't we show some of the
Sure.
devices?
So I'll start with the communication devices. It ranges from something simple like this, which is a step-by-step.
We're from the Assistive Technology Regional Center, run by Easter Seals, Massachusetts.
You can voice record messages simply, quickly, so especially for consumers who are just starting out learning about augmentative communication, maybe some cause and effect. This is a good one. We also have a wide variety of tablets, iDevices, Android tablets that have different types of apps. This one is a popular communication app called Proloquo2Go. So we have this on iPod Touch, we have it on an iPad mini, and we have it on iPads that can all be borrowed from the center.
Great.
And so with the touch screen.
Now, with something like this, that's very portable, how expensive is something like that to actually purchase a device like that?
Well, with the iPads now, they are generally around $500, and if you had an augmentative communication app, that could be $120 up to $200. So
Per
maybe
app?
for one of the very robust augmentative communication apps like Proloquo2Go. So you could be looking at $700-800 for an augmentative communication system based on an iPad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
So this with the touch screen, you can touch it and have it will speak.
What have you been up to?
And so a lot of these items go out quite a bit. And then we have what we call dedicated devices, such as this NovaChat 10, where it's a bigger surface. It's from a different company. There's a different app on it.
It looks like it's more secure too with the rubber and everything, that it's not quite as fragile as like an iPad.
The company has taken a Samsung Galaxy tablet and they have put it inside this casing and they have added a Bluetooth speaker on the back to sort of, yeah,
Okay.
exactly, make it a little sturdier.
Sturdier.
Yeah.
And, I have a daughter who has some destructive qualities, and she's not so careful with devices. So
That's not uncommon.
Okay. What else? Do you have something there?
Oh, sure,
Kathy?
yeah. This is kind of an interesting little gadget, which can be used for a couple things. It's called the Pen Friend, and what it does is you can record onto labels any information that you want. So,
Remember to take your medication at 10 a.m.
so it's good for people that have memory problems. You know, like
That's
right.
a great idea, like Alzheimer's. Or
Alzheimer's,
something.
right, and they don't remember, yeah, in that case, what kind of medication they need at what time. And you could put also, for someone who doesn't see very well, you could put, something like,
Blue.
it's a color blue, maybe on a piece of clothing. Or you can name a can of soup, because they don't know what it is. So that's called the Pen Friend.
Pen
it's
Friend?
with and these are recordable labels that you get with it. Also, we have just a nice large print keyboard, which
I
can
know
be
a lot of
handy
people
for
that
a
can
lot of
use
people, whether you have a vision impairment or not. That can be very helpful. We have a lot of electronic magnifiers. This is Ruby, and you can just see it very big. I don't know if you can see that. And then you can freeze it, and you can change the background color. Oh, I turned it off. I need something a little bit. Oh. So this can be handy for somebody that just has low vision.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And on that same note, this is a color identifier, and all you do is oops, sorry, wrong side,
Dark gray. Green.
or you can go,
Black.
you may have maybe color
blindness
deficit,
or
color
something.
blindness, something like that, and it just identifies color.
That's excellent.
And you want to explain the other
Sure.
few things that we have?
This is, it actually goes in our assisted listening cabinet. It's a shake-awake alarm. It will actually shake, and you can make it very loud. So we have people with hearing impairments borrowing these, but we've had moms come in with college-age students who may be on the spectrum. Maybe they have Asperger's or learning difficulties, and they're having trouble getting out of bed on time. And so these have been borrowed for that reason as well.
What would be the difference between this and, say, a regular alarm clock?
Well, this
Does
shakes
it really
pretty violently.
Make
Yeah.
a lot of noise.
Yes, and you can put it under your pillow or something like that to really
Yeah, that's
give
true.
you an extra boost in the morning.
If you have a teenager and doesn't get up,
Right.
it could be.
And then we also have, this is a trackball. It's a
Marble mouse.
called the Marble Mouse, and it's an alternative way of accessing the computer. We've been getting a lot of folks in with carpal tunnel syndrome or other types of repetitive motion injuries, and changing from that ongoing motion with the mouse to something like this can ease the pain and make
Oh, really?
accessing the
Now, why
computer
is that?
easier.
Because this is bigger?
It's also
or-
stationary, so you're not
so
moving
you don't
around.
have to move it around.
You just rest your hand and move the
Oh,
mouse
okay.
here, which is a different movement.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, this is a time timer. It's a visual cue for if you've got a child that they need to know how much time they have left in front of the TV
Okay.
with a task, something like that. You can use that to visually give them an idea of how much longer they need to sit. So, the time timer.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Does that say it verbally too, or is it just
No.
it just is?
It'll give you
visual?
it'll give you the countdown at the end. Yep.
Just dings.
And it dings.
And
almost
it
like
dings?
like a kitchen timer.
Okay.
Oh, I just also forgot there were a couple things. For someone who's not visually, has auditory problems, they have low hearing. This is called the Pocket Talker, and it's a affordable way for somebody just to have amplification. And they just put it on their lapel or something, put earbuds or a headset on, and it just allows somebody to hear better. And it works very effectively. It's kind of maybe pre-hearing aid.
Okay.
And it's, like I said, it's $150 versus, say, hearing aids that are over $2,000.
Yeah.
And those go up quite a bit.
Wow.
And the last but not least is this is called a smart pen, and these are very popular in schools and colleges now for those who can't take notes and listen at the same time. So what it does is as you record, as you write your notes, maybe really brief notes, it's also doing a recording.
Of the professor or something, or
Right.
the teacher.
And it's like a little mini computer in this pen. And when you go back to your writing and you tap on the ink, it will, well, this one case, it will tell you, you'll hear the recording. And you can also upload it into your computer. And you'll see the page and your writing. And you can click and hear the audio at the same time, and you can send that to somebody who maybe missed the class or just need to refer back to the notes.
Okay.
And so you have a visual and an auditory
So
file.
it actually gives you cues, like if you touch the writing, like it would give you cues as to whereabouts.
This is specialized paper. You have to buy the specialized notebook to go with it.
Oh, I see.
So as you're writing, it's actually capturing not only the audio, but it's also capturing the visual image of what you're writing.
Oh,
And so when you go back and touch different points in the writing, it knows to read that part of the lecture back.
Lecture?
For
Oh,
example,
that's great.
if you have attention difficulties,
Right.
The teacher might say, for homework tonight, please look at chapters 4, 5, and 6. Maybe all they do is write an H for homework. And then they can go back and touch the H, and they'll hear what the professor said. They don't have to remember, and they don't have to write all of it.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I'm sure a lot of people who have attention, ADD or ADHD,
Yeah.
In particular, would really benefit from that.
And
product.
it's commercially available technology. You can buy it at Best Buy. Business people use it for meetings and things like that. It's just it's now become widely used for people with disabilities, which is kind of cool.
Well, that's great. Those products just seem like very wonderful products to have accessibility towards. I'm interested in a couple myself. Well, once you figure out what the device that has been successful with the person, does Easter Seals, by any chance, help with the financial portion of it, or do they help at all to purchase the particular device that they're interested in?
Easter Seals we don't sell anything, but we can certainly help people, guide them to where we purchased our devices. We can give them that information, vendor contact information. And there are 2 financial loan programs that Easter Seals manages. It's again under the Mass Match umbrella, whereby they can take out a loan for assistive technology. And then there's another loan program where if they qualify financially, they can get assistive technology basically for free.
Wow.
They would have to qualify, like I said.
That's for items under $500.
Okay.
And they do kind of, they have to set priorities. As you can imagine, especially with the economy the way it's been a very popular program. And so they do have to set health and safety technology for health and safety comes first, and
I see.
but it's
Do they
it's
have a
helped
limited
lot.
budget, in
They
other
do-
words, that
right.
they
They have
can only give X amount of money out to
Yeah,
people?
they get so
you
much
know,
from
at a
the
time?
state.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, they have a certain allotment per month and that they have to meet. Yeah.
They've helped a lot of people.
Well, I
Yeah.
know that people can't afford it. And I know that my daughter has a Dynavox that's worth like, $7,000 or $8,000,
Yeah.
and I know that it's hard to afford that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Most people don't have a spare $7,000 or $8,000, even though they want to help their child, or it's just financially unavailable to them.
Right, right.
So anyway, on a personal note, I was wondering if there's anybody in particular that you saw dramatically change as a result of your program for assistive technology.
Christy has a
Go
great
ahead.
program. Go first.
Well, one of the woman I mentioned earlier who was fighting to get assistive technology for her daughter, who's in junior high, she's gone. Her daughter's name is Jilly, and Jilly has gone from failing to being an A student.
Wow.
So
That is a major change.
and she has become very empowered. She shows her teachers, she shows her friends and other kids in the classroom. Other kids have now benefited from their hard work and Jilly's success. So that's been really exciting.
What technology did she purchase, or was it an accumulation of a few?
The family ended up purchasing an iPad out of their own pocket, but they also, well, actually everything's been out of their own pocket. She has the iPad. She has a reading disability, and so they have apps on the iPad. For example, Bookshare is a program where you can get audiobooks, and they have the app for that on the iPad. So now, I know the mom told me that something that was very exciting for her was that Jilly is now asking to stay up later to read.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
She's not done with the chapter, she wants to stay up
So she
later.
wants to stay up
and they'd
read.
never seen that before.
Yeah.
So that's been really, really
That's
exciting.
unusual with most kids. Catherine, did you have anything that you want to share?
There was a young man, he was in his 20s, and he had some kind of condition that he could not use his hands to do any kind of computer work, and so he was very motivated. He came back to the center several times, tried probably about 10 different devices. He tried a foot mouse just to move. He could not move the mouse on the screen. It just, any kind of keyboard use and mice just really hurt his hands. But he tried, and he was very determined, and he did find a solution between using Dragon, naturally speaking,
Right.
and like a roller mouse type of thing. It kept his hand very flat. He came to a solution, and
That's great. It's very nice to see success stories, that's for sure. Well, I guess we're going to wrap up now. It was wonderful having you on the show, both you and Christy and Catherine. And I hope our discussion on assistive technology has been helpful, especially to those who need it most. So we'll see you next time on You're Not Alone, Surviving Your Child's Disability.